Whenever you do get to the top of a project, success is kind of short-lived, you know, it's always kind of like on to the next thing. When we get to one level, we realize that, well, we're actually capable of doing much more than that. Sterling is by far the best rope out there.
What a rad project. It's definitely a badass line. I think one of the coolest things about climbing, obviously we want to push our physical limits and do something harder and harder, but that's not the only way to gauge improvement or success, right? There's so many other aspects in climbing, you know, seeing new places and focusing on different styles of climbing. I guess that's what, it's so easy to stay psyched on climbing because there's a million different ways to approach climbing. You know, you can go sport climbing, you can go trad climbing, bouldering, ice climbing, and they're all really unique and different and connected at the same way, you know? There's our physical limit and trying to push ourselves to the next grade or something, and that's obviously super cool, and always want to see how far we can push it. But then there, you know, going to a new place is a way of, I don't know, improving our experience in some way, and, you know, broadening our horizons as climbers, you know. So there's kind of infinite ways to, you know, continue, I guess, experiencing climbing in new ways. We just kind of keep pushing our limits bit by bit, and we're not really aware of how far we can go. You know, it's just work on a project that's kind of beyond my limits. It might seem just way too hard, and then over time figure out the moves and finally send it, and you're like, wow, well, maybe I can climb a little bit harder. So each time we kind of open up our eyes to the potential, our own potential, you know, and see that we can maybe push it a little bit farther. So I just try to, you know, stay focused on the current task at hand. Yeah, I get scared all the time climbing, and I think it's just that, you know, you got to calculate things and take calculated risks at certain points, you know. But I think it's really true as far as getting hurt and having accidents, you know. It always does seem to happen when we're kind of not really paying attention or when we're not scared. So sometimes that fear kind of keeps us in check and keeps us on track and keeps us safe, for sure. You know, there's times we have to really listen to that, and then there's those moments when we're trying to send our project and you kind of just have to push through sometimes when you have to skip a couple of clips, and you know, I think sometimes also you just have to take the fall sometimes and prove to yourself that it's actually safer than it looks. So, you know, when you're on a boulder problem and you can't quite commit 100%, you know, sometimes I'll just jump up and touch the hold and take the fall, and then after that I'm like, oh, it was actually okay, I can maybe go for it a little bit harder, and the next time I feel a little freer to just go for it 100%. But I definitely get scared and deal with that like everyone else, I guess, and I guess it's just one of the things that makes climbing interesting, you know. If it wasn't scary, right, it wouldn't be as fun.